For millennia, whispers of a forgotten city drifted through the pages of ancient texts. Known to some as Thonis and to others as Heracleion, it was said to have once stood proudly near the Nile Delta, a mighty Egyptian port teeming with life, commerce, and spirituality. Legends surrounded it tales of mighty gods, foreign traders, and a city that mysteriously vanished beneath the sea. To many, it was just a myth, another Atlantis, another romantic tale conjured by poets and passed along by hopeful historians. The ancient Greek historian Herodotus wrote of a city where Heracles had once walked, where pharaohs received divine legitimacy, and where the sea bore witness to ceremonies that shaped Egypt's spiritual and political identity. But these stories remain just that, stories unverified and debated for generations. That is, until the year 2000. It was then that a team of marine archaeologists, led by French explorer Frank Gaudio, made a discovery that would redefine what we thought we knew about Egypt's past. Off the coast of Alexandria, buried beneath the silted sea of Aboukir Bay, lay the remnants of Heracleion, a city time forgot, but the sea remembered. A city between worlds. Before Alexandria rose to glory, under the command of Alexander the Great, Heracleion reigned as the primary gateway between Egypt and the Mediterranean world. Flourishing between the 6th and 4th centuries BCE, Heracleion was more than just a city. It was a hub of trade, diplomacy, and religion. Situated at the mouth of the Canopic branch of the Nile, it was ideally positioned to receive ships from Greece, Phoenicia, and beyond. Merchants brought with them not just goods, grain, wine, oil, gold, but ideas, stories, languages, and beliefs. In Heracleion, one could find Egyptian priests and Greek envoys walking the same streets, perhaps even worshiping in the same temples. The city bore witness to a powerful confluence of cultures, where hieroglyphs and Greek letters coexisted, and where foreign gods were welcomed alongside native deities. Central to the city stood the great temple of Amun-Gareb. Here, pharaohs would undergo sacred rituals that confirmed their divine right to rule. The temple, richly decorated and immense in scale, drew visitors from across the ancient world. This was a city where politics met spirituality and where myth lived alongside daily life. The vanishing. But even the greatest cities are not immune to nature's wrath. Over time, Heracleion began to sink literally. Geological studies suggest a combination of natural disasters sealed the city's fate. The region was built upon a fragile, waterlogged clay and sand foundation, highly susceptible to earthquakes and soil liquefaction. One tremor, one rising tide too many, and the ground beneath Heracleion may have given way. Buildings would have crumbled, statues would have toppled, and the sea would have rushed in with ruthless finality. By the 2nd century BCE, the rise of Alexandria as a cultural and economic capital further diminished Heracleion's importance. And by the 8th century CE, it had vanished entirely from historical record, not only lost, but forgotten. For over 1,000 years, the city lay beneath the sea, buried under layers of sediment and mystery. Generations passed without knowing it ever existed. The modern-day Odyssey. It wasn't until the late 20th century that real efforts to locate this mythical city began in earnest. Frank Gaudio, a pioneer in underwater archaeology, took on the monumental task. With the help of the European Institute for Underwater Archaeology and Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, Gaudio launched an ambitious expedition to explore Aboukir Bay. Using state-of-the-art sonar technology, electromagnetic sensors, and satellite imaging, the team began to piece together a picture of what lay beneath the sea. Slowly, outlines emerged, rectangles and circles that defied natural patterns. These were man-made structures, preserved in astonishing detail. In 2000, divers finally laid eyes on the ruins. What they found was nothing short of miraculous. Massive granite statues, some standing over 5 meters tall, were scattered across the seafloor. Among them was a statue of Hapi, the Nile god of abundance and fertility, as well as depictions of Egyptian queens and Greek rulers. Dozens of shipwrecks, many still loaded with goods, testified to the city's role in ancient trade. And most compelling of all, they uncovered a 1.9-meter stele carved with inscriptions in both ancient Greek and Demotic script, the Rosetta Stone of Heracleion. That stele confirmed what many had hoped. The city was real. Not only that, but it bore the dual names of Thonis, Egyptian, and Heracleion, Greek, proving that the two had always been one and the same. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button to explore more bizarre discoveries with us.